Hello everybody, it's your non-binary pal Gracious E.V.A here, and welcome to my second ever sketchbook tour. If you've seen the first one of these, then you'll know what to expect. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Let's get right to the video. Now, before we begin, I want you to remember what my first ever sketchbook looked like. And remember how that looked, all nice and clean and stuff. And I want you to keep that in mind for when you see this. So a little bit rougher than the first one. In my defense, this cover is, I'm pretty sure, like a soft cover. So it was bound to happen. Totally, definitely. And if you're curious on the type, this is actually the same one that I had well, it's from the same brand. When I ordered this, after I had finished my first one, I had ordered the same one, but instead I had gotten this one, which is a slightly different version. It's mixed media rough, and the cover is like softer and stuff, but other than that, it's like exactly the same, and I didn't really notice any difference with drawing it. So yeah, it was a little bit of a surprise. I remember when getting it, I was like, oh, that's different from what I ordered last, that I thought I ordered. But yeah, it's totally fine. I liked it all the same. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the first page. So this I remember making actually sometime after, through the middle of the sketchbook, because I wanted to do like a cool first page, but I didn't know what to do. And you can see I don't have an exact date on when I started this, but I know I started it late 2022. I'm pretty sure in fall 2022, because some of the drawings in there. But yeah, this is Y in his strawberry outfit. I made this for him from like a challenge on Artful. I did a drawing of that, and then I drew that here traditionally. I gave him some shorts. And yeah, this is actually an older version of Y when his hair didn't have the gradient yet. So yeah, and every time I draw Lai too, I always struggle with it because his skin tone is a lot lighter than the lightest skin tone I have in my markers, the salmon pink color. It's still a bit darker than his actual skin tone. So every time I draw him in markers, it looks like he's got a little tan going on. But yeah, I like how this ended up looking. I never colored like his sleeves and leggings. I don't know why I gave him sleeves and leggings, because I think I drew this in summer. But yeah. Next up we have some doodles. I don't remember what this was going to be, but this is like E.V.A in like a fall outfit, which is why I suspected that I started this in fall. It's like a little sweater dress or something. I remember not really liking it when I made it, but yeah, I think it looks okay. And then this is going to be something. Next up we have this is when Dia from Genshin Impact, Dea, was first released, and I love her, but she got so screwed over with gameplay, and they still haven't fixed that. I thought they would maybe fix that, but they didn't. And then this was a random character design that I didn't finish lining. Down here we have some random pen doodles, and then a thumbnail for what's on the next page. Oh, it's really light, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but this was the sketch that I made traditionally for this artwork that I made. Again, it was very fall themed, so which is why I think I definitely started this in fall, because yeah, everything is super fall themed, and this was a sketch for that. I have no idea how I was able to see what I drew though, because of how light it is. It might have gotten lighter over time, and I remember doing it traditionally because I was like stuck somewhere, or I like forgot to bring my like digital art stuff, and then this was all I had. So yeah, and then on this next page we have a drawing of my character Sky and my old little Mer character that I don't know if I want to keep. I had him for a little bit, but I don't know if I want to keep him anymore. And Sky's thing has changed a lot too, and I didn't finish this one. This is concept art for a really a thing. It's concept art for a thing. So, Avatar Last Airbender. You know it. I know it. And for a long time, I wanted to do like a little fan series of what the next Avatar is going to be like, the one after Korra. And this was my original idea for it. I have a couple of ideas still for what that might look like, but this was like the first concept of that, and I don't know if I'm going to stick to like this character. I'm not going to do this character. There's a couple ideas I have, and I still kind of want to do it because that's been pushed to 2026, I believe. So yeah, I might try to do something with that if I can. Random drawing, some doodles, and some swatches, I think, actually. Swatches and stuff. And then over here, we have a little doodle of Captain. This was right after I redesigned them. And I was trying to draw them in these pins that I had gotten, but they were really bad because they like ran out super quickly. They were like writing pins, but like they ran out super quickly, and I wasn't able to finish their hair, like finish it how I wanted to. And you can even see like scribbles up here being like, why did this run out? And why is the other one's fine? But yeah, that ran out super quickly. And then some swatches down here for this one. This is something I like to do sometimes, like a mixed media thing, but I'll like section it into 4 and like choose a different medium for each section. So this is why we have marker, watercolor. I actually really like how that watercolor looked. Colored pencil and pen. So yeah, that's how that looks. I drew him in like this different uniform than normal because that's what you do in your favorites. You constantly design them new outfits. I think I was gonna draw these in marker, but I never did. It was gonna be a landscape here, another one here, but I never did that. Over here, before we go into that, we have Blank in an outfit. I think this is a concept art for, so in a later chapter of Dysteria, I don't want to spoil it too much, but there's like a whole ball thing, a gala if you will, and they need fancy outfits. So I think this is some concept art for whenever I get to that. And then Lie again. This is Lie 3 times in a row, wow. And I drew him like what he looks like when he's super duper tired. I imagine when he gets really tired, he gets, you know, really he's like tired and also just not feeling well. His hair got all messy, and his facial hair starts to grow more. His makeup smudges. Yeah, poor guy. He doesn't look too good. And he doesn't like bother covering up his scar because he has like a neck scar here, and he doesn't bother covering that up. It's yeah, rough. This is concept art for a while I wanted to do like a VTuber thing, but I thought my Sona at the time wouldn't work well for it. My Sona at the time now can probably work for that, but yeah, this was going to be concept art for that, and I was going to do like a weird fairy cyberpunk pirate thing. Yeah, it's strange. Honestly, the hair and everything looks so different. This could just be a different character design altogether. But yeah, it was concept art for that. Over here was just some concept. Oh, I really like that hair. It was just some concept art for a different project thing. Yeah, I do really like how that hair looks. Actually, that was really nice. Over here, we have some Wednesday fan art. This is just a random character I made. I think this is supposed to be like the child of 2 of my characters if they ever do have a child. But yeah, that's like concept art of what that would look like. It's not singing. I know it looks a lot like singing, but it's not singing. And then down here we have, so I used to play Nikki Dress Up Love thing. I think that's what it was called. And I would make like, you know, designs and stuff for that, and I decided to draw one of them. I made a lot more in that game, and I might like draw them just for the funsies. But yeah, I like how that little doodle turned out. I think I was gonna fully color it, but I never did. Nothing on this page. Nothing. Just bleed through. I love these so much. Okay, these are some Land of the Lustrous characters, because I'm predictable. If I have a video, I'm going to try to talk about Land of the Lustrous as much as I can. And these are all different types of tourmalines. I remember drawing this, and I remember really liking it. The way I got the suits to look as I did, because the darkest marker I had was too dark, you know, black, but then the second one after that was too not dark, it was too light. So I took a colored pencil, went over it with that second to darkest color with my marker and was able to get the result that I wanted. Not too dark, not too light. And then, yeah, so let's look over them. We have bites, I believe. I did those really lightly. I don't know why I did the pencil super lightly. All of them are 7.5. Up here I have that written that you can't see because they're all different types of tourmalines. This is bite, which is like a pink and blue, and I loved the gradient, the idea of a gradient, and I really like how this turned out, giving them like a high ponytail braid thing. I love that. This one is Squirrel, which I also think is just might be another name for black tourmaline, but that one also had like a little bit of gray in it, so I did a little gray gradient there. And this is something I'll do a lot with Iron Luster Associates. I'll just put them in different versions of the uniform. Some of them will have the winter uniform, summer uniform that you see in the manga, stuff like that. This one is Cyberite, which I believe is purple, and Diorite, which is orange. Yeah, I really love these. I want to draw them again. It's been so long since I've drawn these, and I want to draw them again. I want to do something with them because this was really fun to do, and I still really like all their designs and personalities. Alice obviously like the fun chipper one. Squirrel's like a little more timid and a little more serious. Cyberite I imagine to be like a big like airhead, and then Diorite is like the sassy, like self-confident one, stuff like that. Yeah, I really like how their hair looks. It like looks like the type of hair you would see on like a typical tsundere, like Asuka, but on a different type of character. Yeah, I want to draw these again. I love my illustrious. This was concept art for What If Hatsune Miku Was Evil Robot. So I did a little sketch of that, and then just a random. I think I was actually practicing how to draw Floyer hair on that one. On this side, we have concept art of Chase, my character Chase from Moonstone. These were thumbnails for a watercolor painting I did. And over here, I was going to do a thing where I was like drawing my favorite characters, but that didn't happen. I did Sanlang, Lapis. I tried to draw them here. Here's the thing, the pencil I was using smudged crazily and like smudged everywhere, and it ruined the really good marker that I did on Sunlong and ruined everything else too. I believe I was using like a bit thicker mechanical pencil, and this is why I don't use mechanical pencils anymore, because they smudge really badly, and also the sound they make when they're on paper is really bad to my ears. I'm neurodivergent, if you didn't know. Next we have, okay, so I was trying to do this thing that I did in my last sketchbook where I did like a paneling thing, and then I like did it as a theme. But yeah, for this one it was like a theme of gray and stuff. I never finished it, unfortunately, but I do actually like these sketches though. I like the sketches that I did and what I did was able to finish. Next we have my attempt at a marker landscape. And actually, yeah, like those looks. This is a couple things that is not my favorite. I believe these marker splatters were unintentional. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. It's big. Concept art for Aries, my character Aries, who I've drawn on here before. Yeah, this sketch was really old because this was like a super older version of their design. But yeah, that's cool. Over here, I believe some concept doodles of human blank, I think. And then over here we have some doodles for demonic miracle characters. Wait, you don't know what that is. Some doodles for future project characters. This is Silver in a different form. This is a scrapped character that is not going to be included. I tried to keep them in it for so long, it just didn't work. The concept was like a android, my version of the android robots, but like part of their soul is in this body. No, how did that go? Their soul was in this body, but they're like they couldn't express with it. But half of it was in this little doll, and that doll like was the one that showed expression and emotion. I don't know. It was a good okay concept, but it just didn't work out. And then these two are also concepts. Now these were actually me trying to rehash the twin envy idea that I had way back in my first sketchbook as a different thing, and I actually turned this into like a cute pixel artwork. So yeah, I actually like these a lot. It's very Enna inspired, it looks like. I think a drawing of one of my characters at a spicier outfit that I didn't finish. And this is, again, some Avatar concepting. And this was going to be, I believe, the Avatar's Waterbender Master. Some concept art for that. Ah, this. This was my first ever charcoal drawing, and I still really love how it looks. I haven't been able to really like make a charcoal drawing that I think looks as good as this since then. But yeah, it's of Kodo because, you know, that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, I really like how this looks. I love the values. I struggle with values with charcoal, but for this one I was able to get it right. And the scratchiness, maybe that's the thing. Maybe I just need to stop making it super blended and just go ham with the scratchiness and have the values be good. And then I have this so that it doesn't smudge onto this page, which is also Dia again. And I discovered this thing called a blue sea dragon, which are like the little sea slugs, and like look super cool. And I was trying to make a character based on that. I still want to do that because like they're so cool, and I want to do something with that. This, I really like how this drawing looked. It was based on some images I found on Pinterest. It's blank as a humanoid, but also a puppet and angel thing. Yeah, it's weird, but I like how it looks because I kept this sketch in and left it as like almost like an unfinished look, and then did minimal stuff with the markering. And I really like how that looked a lot, especially with the brush pen that I used to ink. Yeah, I really like how this one looks. It's one of my favoriter ones. Oh, nothing over here, but I failed drawing because, hey, look at that! Arcane, yes. I watched Arcane. I love Arcane very, very much. Oh, the time of me filming this, okay, so a little insight. I had filmed the first half of the Sketchbook tour, like, way back a little bit ago. But I lost the footage of the first half of this, right? So I'm re-recording this, and at the time of the first time I filmed this, season 2 was still coming out. But at the time of me filming, it is actually the day that season 2 has come out. I have not watched it yet. I have not watched the first three episodes yet because it's just the first 3 right now. Is a little insight, so that probably tells you exactly what day I'm filming this. But yeah, I just want to let you know because I'm going to ramble about this a little bit. This is I try so hard to draw these the characters, but for some reason I can't get them to look good in my style. Now, to be fair, I do really like how this Jinx drawing turned out. I think this is one of my better attempts at drawing Jinx. I like the chaoticness I went with it. I like the splattering and stuff that I did, the little stuff. Yeah, the swing that she's on was a reference. But yeah, I think I drew the arms way too long, but that's okay. Yeah, I actually do like how this turned out. I don't like how this turned out. I never finished it because I made a lot of mistakes, and I drew Vi's arm way too long. Like here, like, yeah, I drew them long, but like you can kind of, you know, they're in a different angle, so it can be kind of hidden. This, it's just like way too obvious. I drew them too long, and I knew it at the time, and I just couldn't finish it. I struggle with drawing Vi. Yeah, this is, now we are on to some Genshin Impact fan art. We have Kaya being all cute and awesome and lovely, and then Noelle here too, and then Kaya being great. Yeah, I don't think I've ever shared this. So I don't actually play Genshin Impact anymore. I might come back to it, but yeah, I don't play it anymore. But my main team was always Kaya, Noelle, Ayato, and Raiden. Kaya and Ayato being my DPSs, with Kaya being my main and Ayato being my sub. Noelle just being the absolute tank, and the reason I hardly died, and whenever she died, I felt like awful, and also, oh no, we're gonna die. And she was the shielder and the healer, and she did a decent amount of damage herself. And then Raiden was my support. I don't think she's meant to be a support, but I built her like a support, and she was a good support. Like, I would do a different team, and then like, why isn't my characters also doing extra electro damage? That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, so yeah, some Kaya fan art just looking amazing, and we love him. We love Kaya. And this one is, so a while ago, I just had this fun idea. My characters were in Sailor Moon, because we love Sailor Moon, and for some reason I like to think of Ricky as as a Sailor Moon himself, because he's a wolf normally, and wolves are usually associated with the moon, therefore Sailor Moon. And then Blank as Sailor Saturn, because of like the lore with Saturn and in the manga, I feel like would suit him well. And I feel like instead of Tuxedo Mask, he would replace that role of like the elusive love interest, but the extra flirtier. So these are just some ideas I had with their outfits. I think I did color pencil because I didn't want anything to bleed through from the last page, and I didn't finish it. A lot of unfinished stuff, and that's okay. If you're doing a sketchbook, leave stuff unfinished. It's fine, unless it's like a big artwork that you planned for and you want to finish it. It's totally fine. But if it's just like a sketch like this, you can leave it unfinished. It's totally fine. I do that all the time. We just went past like 7 unfinished drawings in just the first half of this. It's fine to leave your sketches unfinished, and that's a guarantee. And then the next 2 pages after that are completely blank. I have no idea why. This one is a little bit of Avatar fan art. We got Zuko and we got Toph. I like how Zuko looks here. Not the biggest fan of how Toph looks here in my style. But yeah, it's a little bit of Avatar fan art with my brush pen. And then over here, I was planning on doing like a whole thing where it's like an avatar. Well, it's what I would think the 3rd avatar would be, the one after Korra would be like. And this is a very old version of that. I do still want to like do something with that, where it's like a fan-made thing. I know they're making a show already, like they're already making the series for that, Avatar After Korra. I think they're going to release that after the movie that's coming up, but I still would like to do that at some point. All of these designs are very like old versions of that I've changed like how it would be. But yeah, older designs. Originally, the next one was going to be like a girl, more similar to Aang, but I've changed it a lot. I have sketches of that in my current sketchbook, so I might talk about that if I get to that sketchbook tour, or I'll do you'll see if I ever do that kind of like fan project. I would probably have it be like a character design video, like my character design, you know, my character design videos. And I probably might do like an animatic of what I would think the first couple episodes would be like. So yeah, some designs here. The full body doesn't have any faces, so I did close-ups of them. I do like this face. That's cute. Random sketches. Don't know what these were supposed to be. This one I really like. I did like a pencil sketch, and instead of erasing all of it, if it'll focus, instead of erasing all of it, I just lightly erased it and left the sketch lines in, like I did before, and then lined it and marked it and everything. This is actually an altered version of who is now Monarch. I just wanted to draw a monarch, but then also not. It's more like demon. It's a demon character thing. But yeah, I really like how this turned out. I believe I only used 2 markers for like the coloring and stuff and shading. And yeah, I wish I signed it, because I don't remember when I think I did this on a vacation, but I don't remember what day I finished it. So, oh, this was upside down. This was supposed to be one of those like paneled things. Well, no, it's not upside down. That's upside down. This isn't. It was supposed to be like one of those like what I did in my last sketchbook, which was like themed. I tried doing that a couple of times in this, but then never finished it. This was one of those. It was supposed to be sunset themed, and I do like these. I did this one. That one looked really nice. It's just like a sky, and that one's an eye, and then I never finished the rest. We have this page, which is another one where I drew a character, sectioned it out, and then drew each one in a different medium. And I really like how this one turned out. This is of NYX. I have, I'll zoom in, one which is pencil. This one is marker, but just marker, I didn't line it. And I really like how that looks. I like doing lineless marker art. The only thing about doing lineless marker art is that I have to clean up my sketch beforehand, and I hate cleaning up my sketch traditionally and digitally. That's why I like line art so much. This one is a pen, and this one is a colored pencil. I don't like this section all that much just because I don't really like colored pencil all that much, but I do like the whole thing as a whole. I like that quite a bit. These are some random doodles. I believe what I did was I sketched it in marker and then tried to outline it in pen. This is E.V.A from Genshin Impact. I think this was around when he was released as a playable character, and I think because the marker I chose was so dark I couldn't line it. But then this one is of Haikyuu. Haikyuu, I can draw so easily that oftentimes she ends up being one of the characters I draw just cause. In my sketchbook, like she's one of my only characters that I can draw perfectly without having to look at her rough sheet. I don't know why, it just is. But yeah, hers looked a little better because the marker I chose was a little lighter and the pen I chose was a little darker. I think this was before I got that colored pin set that I have now. And then this one is like a little cute sundae thing. I found like a thing on Pick Crew where it was like, it wasn't a character Pick Crew, but like a little ice cream sundae drink thing Pick Crew. And so I drew the Pick Crew that I made, and yeah, it's pretty cute. I do like how I drew the ice cubes. And then this branch thing, I believe I was playing around with this because I figured out like a smudging technique that I could do with marker in order to make it look like it's more leafy. And I do actually like this technique, or how it looks here anyway, so I might try that in future art. This was supposed to be a bigger thing, never turned out. I think it was going to be another multimedia thing where I sectioned it out, but then I didn't do it. It's Aki. Have some sketches here. Ooh, that's funny. So this is yes, I was thinking about remaking my Sona for a while, as you can see, and this was going to be an option, which was going to be kind of more like robot-y, I guess. I actually don't mind how the sketch looks at all. But yeah, and then this one is of Ricky, for future, when he's in my future bigger comic, planning out what he would look like there. Probably not gonna go with this, but I don't really like what this looks like. And then over here we have some other sketches of some Star Rail characters, except this, I don't know what that was going to be. But we have Herta and Lucha. I didn't ever finish Lucha's sketch here, but I did with Herta. And I actually really like how this turned out. I used a lot thinner pen. I usually go for like thicker pins for line art, but I just stuck with a thinner one here and did a bunch of patching. And I love how this turned out. I think when it comes to like different styles of like line art and stuff, using like this thin, it almost reminds me of like those old artworks you would see in like either old children's books or like old poetry books, and I really like that effect. So yeah, I like how that turned out a lot. And then this sketch over here is one that I used for my D&D character. I'll put up the digital version of this because I took this and I scanned it with my iPad and finished it there digitally. And we were doing a D&D campaign where it's basically like it gave you the guidelines to create a whole species if you wanted to, and then you would base your character off that. Their name is Shard, and the species is called the Shattered, and that was the one of the options you can do in the guidebook. And I based the Shattered off of my version of the Shattered off of the saying smoke and mirrors. So you can probably see it better in the digital artwork, but it's supposed to be like this species that is made out of smoke, but in order to survive they have these crystal glass like exoskeletons that help them to live, and a lot of times they can get shattered or broken easily. So yeah, that's the concept with this guy. They're pretty broken, pretty shattered, but they're held together by their inside, which is like their kind of their true form, which is all smoke and stuff. Yeah, I would like to do sort of like maybe more of an in-depth video about this character like I did with Kenta. But yeah, this was the initial sketch for them. Open it back up. Over here we have an unfinished drawing of Kali in a very different outfit, and some thumbnails for artworks. Sometimes I'll just do that. This is a marker drawing I did of Sky. I had actually recorded this and initially was going to have it as a speed paint, and then I never did, but that's okay. I like how it turned out. I think it looks pretty cool. There's not much else to say. It's a marker drawing of Kali. I've gotten a lot better at doing the blending for hair gradients like this. I'm not the biggest fan of how it looks here. It looks a little patchy. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I was too lazy to color in the tree, as you can see. This is again another one of those mixed media paneling stuff, and this one I actually got pretty far in. This one was, as you can see, the theme was blue, purple, blue, and yellow. I did some stuff with colored pencil, did some stuff with marker, a lot of watercolor stuff actually, as you can see down here. I really like how this turned out. And how these turned out too. I actually really like how watercolor kind of looks in this on these paper, even though it's not meant for watercolor too much. It gives like a really cool like that watercolor effect, you know what I mean? Like that effect when you think of watercolor. This one was like a pencil sketch with marker around it. This one's maybe slightly spicier doodle of Blank and Ricky, but you know, their palettes are purple and blue, so that makes sense. And then I did never finish these two, unfortunately, but I do like the sketches of them. But yeah, it's like half done, but I do like what I've done with it. This one was also a failed paneling thing. This one was also a failed paneling thing. These were just thumbnails. Why are so many of these pages blank? Okay, here we go. So these are actually the drawings I did for my Inktober video way back then. If you watched that, you probably didn't watch that. Not a lot of people watch that video, but that's okay. This is of Captain and Shiro, and I didn't specify that this was Captain and Shiro at the time because I didn't want to. That video was made before my redesign video, and I didn't want to reveal who they were yet. But yeah, it's Captain and Shiro. I don't like how Shiro looks here. He looks really weird. But I do like how Captain looks. They look like themselves. And then we have Koro. I really love how this picture turned out. It's one of my favorites in this sketchbook. I just stuck a pen and my gray tone markers for all of these ones. And yeah, I really like how this turned out. The other Inktober drawings I did on either my watercolor pad or also in my digitally. So yeah, the rest aren't in here. A sketch of Wanderer from Genshin Impact, and a scythe. I think this is doing a little planning for what my character Willow's scythe would be like. Ooh, these pages are really fun. So over here we sort of like have a rose theme going on, but I decided to just stick to pin. We have like a rose eye, there's a bunch of roses. We have my character Chris in a super cute rose dress, like having roses here and then like a very cute petal skirt. I like how that looks. And then a tattoo design. I really want this as a tattoo one day. I would like this as it would be longer than this, like sort of on my whole arm, like a wraparound. And this is like concept sketching for it. I really like how this looks, and I want a tattoo of it. And then over here, these were inspired by, I can't remember their username right now, but I'll put it here in editing. But they do a lot of these really cool artworks where they're like, take like these mini canvases and do artworks that kind of look like these, basically. Which is, yeah, I found those artworks really cool and decided to try to do that, but in my sketchbook. I did like this like Windows, like old school Windows Microsoft Paint one, and this one was really fun to do. The landscape looks nice. The lines obviously aren't very straight, but that's okay. This one looks really cool. It's like a nighttime setting in like a valley with a door that leads into like a sunset beach sort of thing. And then this one's just like a window, a blacked out window looking out into the sky. Yeah, I like how these turned out a lot, and I'll go check out the artists because they have a lot of cool artworks. I think these ones were just going to be like little doodles of my characters. Koro again. Then we have E.V.A, we have Captain, and then we have Leo. Captain being Captain. Older design of Leo. There's Leo. And yeah, just some doodles of my characters there. This is based off of a couple images that I saw on Pinterest that I thought like were matched together super well. So I was trying to doodle like a character that would wear this sort of outfit. Yeah, that's that's the story behind that. I think this was going to be another like character doodle of like two characters wearing outfits that kind of mirrored each other, like I tend to do with my character designs. These two, so this is New Villette. I like New Villette. I drew his eyes too low, but that's okay. And then this is a sketch I drew just at the end of 2023. I tend to do that if for the New Year's Eve, I'll draw like a little sketch or doodle. That'll be like my last one. So this was the last everything I drew for 2023, and of course it's haiku because I was lazy. Yeah, I don't know. She's just the first thing that I'm able to draw whenever I want to draw something. Okay, here's a paneling thing. So this kind of mirrors what happened last time too, because I think this is the second to last page in the sketchbook. But yeah, this is another paneling thing, and I did actually end up finishing this one. Looks like the theme is just all blue and icy, which again very well parallels what I did in my last sketchbook. At the top here we have this landscape, which is a bit of a lazier attempt. I just kind of left it as a sketch and like colored it in lightly with a marker. But then down here we have this nice full-bodied watercolor sketch of my God of Death character. That is a really old video. If you remember that, I did artworks of what my version of the God of Death and the God of Life would be. It's really old, but those characters are actually super relevant because I do want to bring them back in for my bigger comic project, which I am actually currently working on and might do. But yeah, this is a weird ripple thing. I think I was running out of ideas. These are made with colored pens, and like I said, I believe these were a different set of colored pens I was using, and they weren't very water resistant, so this got a little smudged. I don't mind the smudges though. I actually kind of like it. I wish I did that for the whole thing, then it would have looked intentional. Got a random book down here, and then another eye, because of course I like how this turned out. Very nice. And yeah, and then our very last page, well, there was something else here, but I don't remember what it was. And our very last page is Rosa. This I believe was around a time when I got a bigger set of markers and I had a bigger color range, so I was playing around with that here. And yeah, I do like this one. I did this like weird 4-panel thing on the back with her, which is fine. But yeah, you can see that I ended this right at the beginning of 2024. So yeah, the first month of this year. So this book is actually pretty recent, and I finally got around to showing it. Yeah, that is the end of the sketchbook. Look at all of that read through. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this sketchbook tour. It is falling apart. But yeah, this one was fun to make, or fun to draw in. I'm actually still currently working in my other sketchbook right now. I have a third one. Actually, you know what? I'll show it to you. I'll give you a sneak peek. it's a teaser trailer. You like that? This is what this one. It's a different Artisto is the brand, I think. It's a different one, but it's like identical. Like I don't know the difference. It is like a little bit thinner paper, I think. Yeah, it's like slightly thinner, and marker does bleed through it a little bit more. But I do have a bunch of other books that I've worked in, so the next sketchbook tour I'll do will probably be looking in my old watercolor pads, because I've done a lot of watercolor as well, and I might do that as well. So yeah, that's all from me. If you enjoyed this video, you can like and subscribe, of course. You can check out my other artworks on my Kara, my comics store. I do commissions, yeah, all of that good stuff. And with that, I will see you in the next video. Bye!